sign language interpreter this morning is Tobias Omondi. You've made it in time for our conversations about the place of tertiary education in our good country, Kenya. And to have this conversation with us this morning is Madame Bahati Gatere. She is in the marketing department at St. Paul's University. And Madame Bahati, karibu sana Science TV. Kindly greet us and tell us how you've been and a little bit more about what you do at St. Paul's University.
Well, good morning, Alan. Very happy to be here.
Yes.
It's my first time here. Beautiful studio. I come from, I'm a Kenyan.
Yes.
A mother, wife to Gideon Gatere, and a mother of 4 children.
Yes.
I work for St. Paul's University in the marketing department. I head the marketing division at the main campus. And our job is basically to get students in. You know, enrollment is our purpose.
Yeah.
And we are into sharing the vision of St. Paul's University, which is to grow Kenyans, you know, so that they are effective nationally and internationally, producing graduates who are holistic, who have values, who are going to transform our society.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be a part of a university that fears God. We are Bible-based. St. Paul's comes from the Bible, and we include all other religions, but yeah, our foundation is that we are a Christian-based university, and we are proud to serve in that space. Yeah.
Asante sana. When you say you are from the main campus, I believe the main campus is somewhere in Limuru, if I'm not wrong. You've drove from Limuru to here this morning.
Oh, well. I'll be driving back. I'm from home, not too far from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do, I love our ambience. By the way, St. Paul's University, main campus, Limuru, in Tigoni area.
You pride yourselves.
Kafuku. It's a beautiful campus. The weather is great, very conducive for learning. Green grass, beautiful pavements. We don't get dusty.
Yeah.
The classes are amazing, and there's boarding there. You can actually come and board. Students board there. There's, of course, also now we are virtual, but we pride ourselves in our boarding facilities, the amazing library facility, and just the ambience in that area is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting, because most of us know the town campus, and we only get to see the main campus when we are going mashambani.
Right at the city center is our Nairobi campus.
Yeah.
I mean, there the target market is guys who usually work around Nairobi.
Yeah.
And it's a busy place, but once you enter through the doors, it's a learning environment.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So Nairobi is also doing well. We are also located in Nakuru, by the way. Yeah, so we're in Nairobi.
So 3 campuses.
Yes, we have 3 campuses. Nakuru is also very beautiful, opposite the ACK Cathedral.
Yeah.
Or Odinga Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we thank God.
Oh, all right. Now, you said you are anchored in the Christian faith. Give us a little bit of genesis of the St. Paul's University. Where does the journey begin from?
Wow, would you imagine? We are more than 100 years.
100 years?
Actually, 120 plus. We should be hitting 123 very, very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. We started off as a theological college. So what happened was when the people would come back from war or the times that we were living in then, our forefathers, there was a lot of slavery and Africans also just starting to be exposed to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So missionaries were our first trainers. So they would train the local community as they teach them the word of God, and they would train them in skills so that they're effective and they are able to now do the things that modernization was coming up with.
Yeah.
So we started off there. It was in Mombasa. We were located there for a couple of years, and then we moved to Limuru. The stone was put up there, and the missionaries came there, and slowly by slowly it became purely theological.
Yeah.
So now you'll find that a lot of the senior clergy in East Africa were trained at St. Paul's. But that time it was St. Paul's Theological College. And around 2007 we got our charter, and we started to also invest more in our other professional courses. So from theology now we have 5 schools. We have the School of Business and Leadership. We have the School of Communication and Computer Sciences. We have the School of Theology, of course, our mother school. We have the School of Health Sciences, where we train nursing and clinical medicine and all medical courses. And then we have the School of Education and Social Sciences. So those are now our main schools, and but we still, our basis, and when we are teaching our common units, is a Christian worldview, so that we are not lost from our roots. But we are now training a class of 21st century Christians and also 21st century modern, very relevant courses that will affect our society, where we can have more, we believe, professional people working who have integrity and who are trained under that armor of our vision, which is to bring a holistic quality and empowering people to be transformative in their thinking and in their doing things.
Now, I will be. You said 21st century Christian, and first thing that went to my mind is a Gen Z Christian. How
they exist.
How are you managing this demographic?
It's interesting because Gen Zs are very varied. They have some common goals, but they are very varied. I find them in campus. We have some very serious, focused Gen Zs. They really want to make it. They want to thrive, and they are eager to learn. Then there's the other Gen Z who also is very nonchalant, shall I say like that, you know. They're neither here nor there. They can be into something and then suddenly they're out of it.
They've lost interest.
Exactly. So keeping that interest, also keeping them plugged engaged, exactly. We try to do that as a university, so we're not so bent on academic only, but we're building the whole person. So we are looking at co-curricula, we are looking at teaching skills, we are looking at how can they practically enforce what we are teaching them in the classrooms, and also taking it beyond the classroom. We can learn even beyond. Like we have some very amazing sessions where we invite guest speakers who are in the field, like you, Alan. We should invite you very soon. Come and just talk to the young people, interact with them. They get to talk to you, they get to ask you questions, and they get to see what the real world is like. And so the Gen Z are an interesting group. We love them. They're our kids. Some of us are the mothers of Gen Zs and fathers of Gen Zs. So we are grateful, and we keep learning them and they keep learning us. Of course, also the AI space now is such a challenge, but we are embracing it. We are really embracing it because they have embraced it, definitely. You know, you give an assignment and it comes back, you just tell this is AI, you know.
Actually, I have on my list of, one of the questions that I ask the educationists that come here in the morning is, how are you planning, or how is education going to evolve with artificial intelligence, but also how do you leave the capacity for the child or for the student to be able to think critically without necessarily negating that responsibility to artificial intelligence. And before we talk about that extensively, there is a report that I read to you that has been published in the Daily Nation this morning, where it says 6 in 10 school children struggle with reading and maths. And this is not a Kenyan issue only, it's across 16 African countries. And you have prided yourself as an international university as well that brings in students from across the continent and across the globe. How does this affect the quality of education that then as a university you are able to administer? Because if I am 16, 17, I am almost ready for university, but if I cannot do basic reading and mathematics, then how am I going to thrive in tertiary education?
Alan, that is just scary.
I can see you're scared.
It's just scary. Because surely by the time you're coming to campus,
Yeah.
you should be ready. You should have been well prepared.
Yeah.
And actually our work as universities
It's
is
to
to
polish.
train you so that you can go out there as a teacher, as a facilitator, to train up these children. So where's the gap? Why are you not getting it? You know, because then it means that we should look actually back and find out who is training our children, because that is definitely not a St. Paulian training that child. So who is training our children? Are we getting unqualified teachers training our children so that we can come up with such a statistic? Is there some form of discrimination also? Because Kenya is huge. 6 out of 10 is a big number, but those 4 out of 10 can be in Nairobi. So we don't see it. Then they come in through rural areas, maybe the 6, and that's a huge population. Or else it could be the other way around. The rural guys are the
4%.
They are coming, them they've been taught. The 6 are in Nairobi, and the cities, and they're like, so wherever they are coming from, I think this is a very serious point to look at who is actually training our teachers. Interestingly enough, even the qualifications right now for those who come to the university to teach, they want to learn education, like secondary education, the qualifications by TSC were upped. Like even if you're doing a diploma, you have to have a C+ grade and above in KCSE. And then your maths grade is checked and your English grade is checked above C- and a math at least above a D+ and above. So there is that, you can see there's a desire and effort to make sure that those who are going to be teaching in our high schools have the qualifications, and that's spread from private universities to public universities. It is a standard. So I think there was a gap, and maybe these ones that are coming up were caught up in that gap, but we're trying to heal that that bridge, to bridge that gap. Also, I see there's more. There's a desire. You can see the number of people who want to teach. Actually, most it's funny, but parents will advise their students, their children, to become teachers just because they think TSC utapata TSC number, not utapata job. You know, so that's the
you are guaranteed of work.
So you find the people who are not passionate also, you know, people who are not passionate about, they were there for the salary, and you go there and you get disappointed because your salary, kumbe, it was not as big as you thought.
You anticipated.
It's consistent, but maybe it's not as big as you thought, and maybe the opportunities to grow are not coming as fast as you thought, or even maybe you're comparing yourself with people who did other courses. So maybe we have teachers who are dissatisfied, and so they're not able to deliver.
Now it's reflecting in the product, in the children that they are delivering within the education system.
Exactly. Those of us who came from good schools, you reflect so much on your teachers, that they were there, they were consistent, they were loving. Actually, children identify with love. They were disciplined, they were strict. And if we're not having that kind of attention, then definitely we're going to lose out. We're going to lose out, and we're going to have those kind of statistics growing. And also interest. Parents being interested in their children's learning process. You know, some parents
expound on that.
Alan, some parents unawapeleka tu shule and you continue with your life. You're not being.
You do not check the homework. Hata huwezi fanya homework na watoto.
Exactly. Why that? What is your ideology about education? What is your thought process? And that should be something that is encouraged, that parents participate in their schools. Hold your teachers accountable for the learning process. Be there when you're called for meetings. Find out what's going on with your specific child. Go to the teacher and ask, you know, how can we help to make this child better? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? How can we improve? What is this child? Is this child distracted? Is there a peer group influence that we need to curb? You know, is there a subject that the student-teacher relationship, they are hurting? How can we improve? How can we change? What are the challenges the school is experiencing? Because they could be just, teachers are not getting continuous training. They're not being loved also by the administration. Hakuna chakula lunchtime, kuna chai, you know those things.
Wanakuja class unafundisha mtoto ameshiba na wewe kuna njaa.
Exactly. I mean, now you're not motivated. You know. So parents, if we were more involved in because the teachers are you and me. Yeah, they are parents like you also. Their children are probably part of that process, or they've taken them to another school because they know what they're delivering here is not up to standard. So how can you make that school part of your family? Because, by the way, your children spend so much more time with their teachers
than you.
Yeah, if you check your time in the holidays, you're still working, by the way. So they are again with their housekeepers or with their relatives and other family members, siblings during the holidays. So even you're still working until maybe you get a week off or 2 weeks off if you can get like in December, like so, you know. But otherwise, your school term, you meet them you see them off in the morning, you see them in the evening, they're doing their homework. And if you're also so busy with your job and all that, the time we are spending with our children is so minimal, and it will show up. It is showing up in those statistics. It will show up. Our involvement as parents needs to be present, positive, felt. Yeah, they are part. And I'm glad also the new system, I think, is pushing parents to also participate. Participate in the learning. And so they should have a grudge against it, because at the end of the day, these are the memories your children will have. And this is what you're passing on, so that they pass it on to their children. So the better the memories they have, the better they'll be able to translate it to the next gen.
We're creating.
Exactly. Exactly.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back from the break, I want us to expound on the part that you said that teachers probably aren't getting continuous learning. And from a St. Paul's perspective, what programs do you offer to enable teachers and even persons like ourselves for continuous learning, and why that continuous learning is important? All right?
Awesome.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be back with Madame Tertiary, and we are continuing with our conversation, the place of tertiary education in Kenya. Keep it science, and we'll be back.